when you're learning anything, whether it's drawing, whether it's animating, whatever, you have to make sure you're practicing active learning. Active learning means that as you're doing something, you are not just sitting there going, okay, I'm done. Were you thinking about anything? Were you actually paying attention, or were you just doo-dee-doo-dee-doo? Okay, I finished the assignment requirements. Yippee! That's not active learning. And Tifo, thank you so much for the bits. Aw, thank you so much. You guys are super generous. As a note here, none of you have to subscribe or offer anything here. These streams are for everyone. There's no requirements for anything. Like, you guys are just being super generous by doing that. Like, that's super sweet of you. It's super kind. Thank you so much. What was I saying? My brain. So yeah, regardless of the age, you need to be active in your learning, which means pay attention. Okay, I'm doing this. Why am I doing this? Ask yourself questions. Why? Why am I moving this the way I am? Try to answer that. Well, it's because the anticipation is going to make the motion feel better. Okay, it didn't work out. Well, why didn't it work out? Okay, and you figure it out and you ask for feedback and you take those notes and you internalize them. Figure out, okay, if I do this, this result will happen. And you build that up. It takes time, but you are active in your learning. It's the same thing with drawing. If I'm drawing, let me close this off. Before I share my screen, I have to make sure I close off the other demo that I was going to prep later on. That's a spoiler. Don't want to show any of that just yet. Let me actually close the tab so you can't even read the tab and see what it says. Okay. So let me share my screen here. And let's say I'm learning to draw. And I'm going to draw, let's say, a body. We'll do a torso. And I'm just going, okay, doopy-doopy-doo, doopy-doo. Not just drawing whatever. There's the leg, there's another leg, and there's an arm right here. Doopy-doopy-doo. Oh, what's that? What's on my phone? Doopy-doopy-doo. Okay. What did I learn? What did I pay attention to? Nothing. I was on autopilot. I was just like, it's a horrible little doodle. And maybe it turned out well. Maybe it turned out horribly. But either way, did I learn something here? Did I pay attention to what I was doing in any way? No. Now, this does not mean that this is a bad thing to do. It's fun to draw and it's fun to animate. If you're doing it just for fun, just for the sake of doing it, it's still practice in a sense, but it's not learning. Learning is, okay, I'm going to sit down. Okay, let's start to draw. Okay, let's think of the torso. It's going to be angled back because the torso is naturally angled back on the body. Okay, the center line is going to be here. Now, this is one way of doing it, but it's really just to showcase that I'm thinking about what I'm drawing. Okay, now a common thing that I have an issue with is I always tend to forget to add the torso versus, or the stomach versus the hips. This is something you want to do in animation or whatever you're studying. Think, what do I commonly fail at? What do I keep forgetting? What are the notes that everyone like, oh, your timing's off, your spacing, it's not as interesting. Pay attention to those, and the next shot you do, keep those at the forefront of your mind so that you can address it right away. So usually when I'm drawing, and especially when I'm drawing quickly, let me see. Did I do it here? Yeah, I kind of did it here. So you see here how the shape of the hip, which is right here, tucks right into the shape of the torso right there. That's not correct. I should animate or create the torso here. Then I need a secondary shape right here, the actual torso, before I get into the hips right there. I'm missing that. See how it just goes right in? I need this line right there. So I'm paying attention to the things that I commonly have issues with. Another issue, and you can see it here, is I always forget to draw the neck. If I'm not paying attention, I put the head like right in here all the time. All my characters are like this, which, okay, maybe I could call it a style. It's my unique flavor of character. No, honestly, it's just because I forget and I just put the head right on there. So make sure I think of the neck. Where does the neck sit? Okay, from there, now I draw the head. There we go. Now we've actually got separation there. So I'm thinking of what I'm doing here. And I can still be rough and I can still be fast about it, but I am trying to pay attention. I totally lost track of what I was saying there. My brain went just totally stopped. So I'm trying to think of what I'm doing and why. And this way, as I keep learning, things become second nature. The same thing happens when you animate. You cannot let yourself go on autopilot, especially when you're learning. And that is irrelevant of any age. I've seen people who are in their 50s and 60s learning animation, and they never quite grasp it because you can see that they're just kind of do the assignment and then they're not really paying attention. I've seen people in their 50s and 60s do amazing work and they learn super quick because you can see that they're really taking notes of everything. I've seen people in their 20s do the exact same thing. Some people in their 20s really like pay attention to everything and like they're taking notes and they're studying, and it might take a little longer, it might take less time, but they are progressing. I've seen other people in their 20s where they're just on autopilot and it's just like, the assignment tells me to do this, not even paying attention, submit. Why am I not getting better? Because they're not paying attention to what they're doing, they're just following the guidelines. If I do A, B, C, I'm done. Move on. So active learning is important regardless of who you are, regardless of age. That's the thing that's going to get you moving. So yeah, pay attention to what you're doing is essentially what it is.